The day you decide, everything changes. There comes a day when hesitation dies. A day when you can no longer stomach the taste of your own excuses. A day when you look at your reflection and realize that the person staring back is not the person you were born to be. That day is not marked on any calendar. That does not arrive with fanfare or warning dot. It comes quietly, like the first breath before a storm. And when it arrives, you will know, because every fiber of your being will scream the same command. Decide. For years, you may have drifted half committed to your dreams, half enslaved to your fears. You've told yourself you were waiting for the right moment. You've told yourself you needed more clarity, more confidence, more certainty. But deep down, you've always known the truth. It was never about the timing God. It was about the decision. One decision has the power to rewrite an entire life. Not a half-hearted wish. Not a, let's see how it goes. A decision so complete that every other option is burned away, leaving only the path forward. When Cortez arrived on the shores of the New World, he gave an order his men could hardly believe. Burn the ship's dock, there would be no retreat. No turning back, victory or death. That was the choice. And with the ships ablaze, the men fought with a ferocity they never knew they possessed, because their decision had removed every escape. That is the kind of decision that changes everything. The kind Edison made when he spent nights alone in a laboratory, testing filament after filament until the darkness gave way to light. The kind Lincoln made when he resolved that the Union would not just survive, but be reborn in freedom, no matter the cost. The kind Oprah made when she refused to accept a life defined by where she started. The day you decide, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop seeking permission. You stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. That day, something inside you hardens, not into coldness, but into unshakable resolve. The doubts may still whisper. The fears may still knock, but they can no longer enter. Because the moment you decide, you lock the door. Most people never reach that day, that they live and die in the space between wanting and doing. They dip their toes into the waters of possibility, but never dive in. They cling to the shore of the familiar, even when the familiar is suffocating them. And when they look back on their lives, it is not their failures that haunt them. It is their indecision. Decision is the axis on which your life turns. Until you choose with your whole being, you are standing still, no matter how busy you seem. And here is the paradox. Decision comes before courage. People think they must first feel brave before they take the leap. But bravery is not the fuel. It is the result. Courage is born the moment you say, I will. History's greatest victories were not won by those who knew all the answers before they began. They were won by those who dared to commit without a guarantee. Henry Ford didn't know exactly how to mass-produce the automobile when he promised he would make one for the average family. The Wright brothers didn't have proof. That man could fly before they decided they would be the first to. Make it happen. Your mind is an architect, and your decision is the blueprint. Without it, there is nothing to build from. But once it exists, your thoughts, your habits, your actions, and your entire environment begin to rearrange themselves to match it. And something else happens, something you cannot explain until you've lived it. Once you decide, life itself seems to conspire in your favor. People you've never met begin to appear. Opportunities you never noticed seem to fall into your lap. Doors swing open, not because they weren't there before, but because you were too undecided to see them. But you must understand, this is not magic. It is not luck. It is the shift of focus, the sharpening of intention, the force of a human, being fully aligned with a single purpose. The day you decide, excuses dissolve. I don't have the time becomes I will make the time. I don't know how becomes I will learn how. I'm not ready becomes I will never be more ready than I am now. You will find yourself doing things that once seemed impossible, not because the obstacles have vanished, but because your commitment has grown larger than your fear. And in that moment, the world changes, not in the sense that its laws are rewritten, but because your laws are rewritten. What you tolerate changes. What you accept changes. What you chase changes. That is why the day you decide is the most important day of your life, not your birthday, not the day you graduate, not the day you land the job, because none of those mean anything without the decision to become the person who will make them matter.